Wednesday, April 7th, 2022. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversation Show with your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. We are live on Twitch, Twitter, the YouTube channel. It is the name of the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Normally, I would be on Facebook, but unfortunately, I'm still in Facebook jail. They're hating on me, but it's okay. So, anyway, after the show, definitely I'm going to plug the link from YouTube to Facebook so everyone can actually see this conversation that we're having tonight. Importantly, of course, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It's been proven over and over again. It's no doubt in my mind that it is true. Also, tonight, this show has been sponsored by the one and only Blacktop Streetball Association, which is coming to a city near you real soon, and also bigger than the brand with my boy, Main Event, Wally Dixon. Thank you so much for all your support. Those who would like to be a sponsor to the show, please hit me up. I got you. Now let's get into this bio. I love doing this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ammo.
Yo.
Yeah. A self-proclaimed critical thinker and perfectionist. He goes, his government is John Caldwell, better known as Amo. Amo Gift is an artist, engineer, and entrepreneur. Gift is a New Haven, Connecticut native who has been making music since he was 13 years old in the music hub of Atlanta. He is respected by various contemporaries as being one of the most influential tri-state hip hop artists of his generation. His latest project titled Breach dives headfirst into a pool of rhythmic beats and expressive melodies. Falling in love with music at an early age, you can hear traces of the classic Motown, that's where I'm from, Motown intertwined in every instrumental with a new age flair. The effortless switch between bars and harmony stands entirely masterful as Gift touches on topics dealing with a close friend's illness and protecting a business during a pandemic. So, you guys, tonight, I want you to welcome to the platform to have this wonderful conversation with Ammo Gift. How are ya?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I can't complain. I got some great news today. I can't complain about nothing at all.
Hey, that's good. Good news is always good.
Always in order. Always. So a lot of times I go from the beginning of the conversation of who you are, how did you get to where you are? And a lot of the questions I normally ask people, you already told me. So basically, you started in music when you were 13.
Mm-hmm.
And was this a household thing or was this school?
A little bit of both.
So
A little
what
bit
was
of both.
going on in the household? What type of music?
Um, well, my mom, she like writes, she writes books and stuff, but mostly like poetry and stuff like that. So it kind of like stemmed from that. And then my dad was like a DJ. So like him and my like older brother, they had like a lot of like records and stuff, CDs, cassettes, and all that type of stuff just laying around the house. So it was always like stuff around for me to like listen to and dig into.
So when was that moment, as we call it, epiphany, that this is what you wanted to do?
Um, when my art teacher like she found some of my like raps and like a portfolio that I was like had for her class, which was supposed to be for art, but I would just write lyrics in it and tell her that I didn't have my portfolio. And she found it one day and she read some of the like lyrics in it and she actually became one of my close friends like after that, even to this day. She's a mentor of mine now. But she just started bringing me to like open mics and stuff like that. So actually seeing people like do the stuff that I used to just like see on TV or just like even think about, I actually got to see it. So it made me feel like I was actually able to like be a part of it or do
Part
it.
of it. So I was doing research for a grant that had something to do with um, youth mentorship. And the research was saying that over 60 to 70% of students that get exposure when they're young are most likely to stay out of trouble. They're most likely to graduate. They're most likely to actually finish what they actually wanted to accomplish in life. And they're also more likely to turn around and do the same thing for kids their ages or younger. And so the exposure is important. And then for adults to actually believe in you is on a whole nother level. Sometimes we always say, yeah, your parents believe in you. You hear it, but you like, you just saying it because I'm related to you. But when someone else outside of the home who really don't know you like that really puts effort into you, that says a lot for you. That a art teacher who's not even into music actually already seen and knew that you had something special. So kudos to your teacher.
Yeah, shout outs to Sarah Bradshaw. She's actually heavy into music though. At the time, she was actually managing a rap group that her friend was in, and that's actually how she like introduced me to a lot of that stuff. So it's kind of like she started bringing me to like their open mics and shows and stuff like that. And they opened up for who was it? I think it was Talib Kweli at
Hmm.
the time. And, just like a lot of different things that like I said, that I would only see on TV and only like dream about, but I actually got to see it at like a young age. So it was dope.
Okay. So we are noticing that the lyrics, the music, the DJ was already in the home. And how did you know that you actually wanted to rap? Now, just because we have a household full of music, you could have went R&B, you could have been anything but rap. So how did you actually get into the rapping part?
Um, I mean, I still do like R&B and stuff like that. I do like a whole bunch of stuff, but as far as the rap, it was just like any like young kid, just like seeing like other like artists on TV and then just being around the homies and just being influenced by certain things and stuff like that. And then like for me, it was like a lot, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I saw on TV, I actually was able to like be around. So it was like I could do this. Like you know what I mean? So it was like it was just more like believable for me. It was like it was almost like it was already happening.
Wow.
But
I noticed that a lot of the artists um have a lot to say when it comes to growing up in the neighborhoods, the things that they saw, the things that maybe was not um that they didn't get, or like the police issues, death, gangs, things of that nature. What was something that you felt like n- that topic needs to be talked about?
um, for me, I mean, I touch a lot of topics. I come because I just like rap about like how I feel like at the moment. Like I don't really like try to like pinpoint certain things like based on like times or things like that. It's just more or less like how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and I just try to like write from a general like sense, but also like add my own personal like touches to it and things like that. But for me, it was always like love was always the topic that I find myself coming back to is love, whether it was like love in the household or like you know what I mean, like just family going away, family losing family, like you know what I mean, or being in a relationship, like you know what I mean, with a woman, love like in that sense, or just like my love for things, like you know what I mean. So like that was always topic for me.
Which is a good topic. I mean, you can't go wrong with love. Love touches multiple things, multiple places. It transcends like music. Um it's international, it's global. So that's good. You can never go wrong with love. Um of course was always love with family because that's where we started from. And I was thinking the other day about my grandma who um exuded love. Like I never knew my grandfathers, so they were already gone when I was born. But my grandmas can take love to a whole nother extent. And when they're not on earth anymore, that love that you felt unconditionally is now gone. And so we try to find ways to get back to that type of love. Of course, there's always love of your parents, your siblings. It's different when it comes from a genuine grandma that you smell them, they have the best food, they
That's true.
hug on you, and it's just like those moments where you just want to go to sleep in their lap like nothing in the world matters unless you have grandmother's love. So
I
I appreciate.
actually, yeah, that's crazy that you that's like really touching home for me. I just lost my grandmother like last year,
Wow.
and I actually like again like I made a song on the album. It was called Stay, and I don't know, like again, like love is just a topic that I always find myself coming back to. But like that song was really like tough for me to like write. But it's one of my favorites. But it's just crazy to hear you say that. That's like exactly what I was like talking about on the song. So
Wow. I'm just gonna say a lot of stuff. I'm gonna start putting this disclaimer out. Is what happens is we start off with conversation and then God shows up and the conversation shifts. I had no idea about your grandmother, but I know in my heart that's where the love went for me. And we find out more when we have conversations that we're more alike than we are different. And that's why I love being in this space because love transitions a lot of things. And sometimes those love that we get from genuine people, we miss a lot down here on earth because those moments when I was scared or um different things that didn't make sense to me in my parents' parenting, um, I had grandma to go to. Those moments when I wanted to play board games, my grandma were good at everything. You cannot beat her. I don't care how old she got. She will always beat you. And her favorite game was Sorry. Um,
yeah, that's a good one.
yes. And so we would have all generations at her house playing Sorry. It became a competition. She loved doing puzzles. So on her kitchen table, or no, the living room table, there was always jigsaw puzzles. So you could come to her house, sit down, and fill in puzzle pieces. And after everyone had a touch, everyone had a piece that was a part of this puzzle, she would put it together and she would get it, all glued in, laminated, and all that stuff. And it was a
Oh,
picture on her wall.
that's
So
dope.
yes, so when she comes in the house, when whoever comes in her house, you could say you had a part of her history that was in her house.
That's really dope.
Yes. So grandma's is the tradition. Like when I have children, what I'm doing in my household is I bought 2 boxes of jigsaw puzzles that me and my husband will put together. So one day my children can understand where that came from. And so this is going to be one of our traditions that we'll pass on to our kids. So, yeah, wow, that was amazing. So,
That's fire.
also, I saw that a lot of your writing with your illness of your friend. What do you mind? What illness was it?
Um, so like it's I don't really like want to like put his business out there, but You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like more like I don't know. But
We ain't got to
he
say his name.
I know, but he's like he's diagnosed with like bipolar and like schizophrenia, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Like he be dealing with a lot of times like you think he here and he's not here.
Well, if you notice in the last couple of years, we're going back into really calling a spade a spade. And a lot of times we have unfortunately put people who have mental issues in a box. I can look at you and say, you look normal, but that has nothing to do with what's going on in your mind. I know, I think it was during one of the Reagan, I think, can't remember what president decided to basically shut down all the mental institutes. And a lot of people were released that shouldn't have been released. A lot of people that needed this type of help don't get the help that they need. So we label them as, the C word, crazy, something wrong with them. And all of us need help. So conversations of what's going on in someone's mind is important to figure out. So for you to um, write a song about this is honorable. Actually, it brings awareness for people to actually start looking into it. To have the conversation that people don't want to address, but it needs to be, needs to be.
It does.
We know people when they go off their med, you can tell. So let's get into a conversation about without having the med. Let's do something natural that gets them, you know. So it's a conversation that needs to be had. So again, kudos to you for even want to talk about this. And of course, with research and time and things like that, we will find um, what's going on because everything is still an individual basis. You can't group everybody in the same thing because we're not all the same. So, with that being said, um, who would you like if you had the opportunity to write to rap with them, dead or alive? Who would you want to collab with?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Just one?
Oh, whoever.
There's no limit?
No limit.
Ooh. All right. Mac Miller, first of all.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely like if I could, I would work with him first and foremost. He's like one of my favorite artists. Uh, who else? Mm, Mac, Currency. Um, who else? It's a lot of people. My mind is like overflowing. Mac, Currency, Smoke Dizza, Alchemist. If I could, I'll work with Kurt Cobain. Uh, who else? Um, Rick James.
Mm.
Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else? Mm, Jay-Z. Why not? Uh, I don't know. It's so many people. Big Pun. Mad people. It's a lot.
Oh, I was one of the shows that I love the most. There's a couple of them for different reasons. Mostly informational, but it's also history teaching. And one of them is Noriega with Drink Champs.
Hey,
Um, I love the Breakfast Club. I love the
okay.
show On Song.
Okay.
And what is I am actually falling in love with T Pain's podcast.
Okay.
So they have people on these shows to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly, of course. And you take it how it is, but
Mhm.
it shines the light on so many people in different that you would have no clue about until you have a conversation with them. So
Right.
I'm looking at you and I'm like, dang, he looks like Lil Wayne. Like, what in the? Do you get that a lot?
All my life, bro. I can't escape it.
No, and I'm like,
That's why I didn't mention him in the list. Like
listen here. If Lil Wayne had a contest of stunt doubles and all of this, you would definitely win.
I get that one too. Yeah, people say that a lot all the time.
Oh, and the reason why I brought this up. So when I ask people who are artists who say things like this, I had a lady that was on not too long ago said her person that she wanted to meet all day, every day, collab with was Missy Elliott, right?
Oh, I forgot her. I'm wilding.
She cut out the part when we talked about this, put it out on Instagram. Do you know Missy Elliott reached out to her?
For real? Shout out to Missy Elliott. She's a real one.
Listen, yes. So I don't know what's happening behind the scenes with that, but I'm saying we speaking those things as though they were. So if it's
Hey,
Little Wayne, if it's Missy, if it's any of those, it doesn't even matter. Whoever you want to, that is still alive. I would speak it out and watch it happen.
nah, definitely. I definitely do want to do a song with Wayne. That's like automatic. But it'll happen. It'll definitely happen.
Oh, absolutely. Just the fact that you've been doing this since you were 13. Have you ever gotten to a place where you was like, I'm done with this?
Um, all the time. It's a lot of times where I feel like that. It's a lot of times where I feel like there's a lot of new things that I want to do. And when I feel like I can't do them right away, then I'll be ready to be like, yeah, forget this. I'm good on this right now. But I have to keep reminding myself that it's like as long as I love what I do, it's always going to be like that. There's always going to be something new that I want to learn. It's always going to be something new I want to buy. It's always going to be something new I want to try. It's always going to be something new that I'm going to make. So there's ups, there's downs. I just try to enjoy the process and not question the unknown.
Absolutely. Trust me, I am there. I understand completely. You know, when you have a regular 9 to 5, but it's so much bigger than that. When you're
Mhm.
doing things like this over the passion of your heart, um, it doesn't happen overnight, but the dividends of really doing what you do, which helps people, um, it's all worth it. Um, I can say that because I'm actually living it. Like I told you, I got some great news today that I was not. even expecting.
You gonna share
And
your
with
news with us?
man,
What's up?
so in the process of doing what I do, I was had a job. I still have this job, but they went from 40 hours down to 5 suddenly.
What?
And you like, what am I are you kidding me? What am I supposed to do? And it was a string along. Not too long ago, we got a letter saying, "Hey, this job is ending on April 14th." So knowing me, I'm always not always thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the whole team at large. So I started asking questions. I started putting things out in the atmosphere like, look, you saying wait until we cross the bridge. The bridge is already here. We need answers now. Like we know, it has all to do with putting information in about the vaccinations and testing with COVID. I'm like, the numbers is going up. All of this, if y'all get rid of us, y'all gonna have to start off from scratch. So a meeting came about. The conversation I brought up was brought to the meeting. So we get a conversation today, a meeting. Well, guess what? Your job is not ending. On the
Hey,
18th, we're going back to 40 hours a week.
come on.
Right after that, I get a conversation from my apostle, and he's like, so X, Y, and Z, you never had this? And I'm like, no. You never had license to be a minister, do all of this? I'm like, no. He said, well, in May, get ready to be minister. I mean, be licensed as a minister, as a prophet in the Lord's house. So I
Hey,
was not looking for it. I was not expecting it. None of this stuff. So when I tell you the dots are starting to connect, and it all came from speaking it. It all came from getting out of myself and my feelings, but it's to help somebody like you.
that's real. Congratulations too.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So all these different doors are starting to open. I wrote a book in the process of getting it edited, and my aunt, I can't forget this. My aunt reaches out to a guy on a clubhouse for a book club, over 600 members.
Hmm.
He selected me on Tuesday to read a chapter of my book that is not even published yet.
Hey.
I read it,
Hmm.
and they was like, "Oh my god, this is not only good, but you know how to perform." I got this big text message the next day like, "You made your auntie proud. We want you here. Da 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 da. Whatever help you need, we got you."
Come on.
So you mean to tell me before the book is even published, we already got people waiting for this?
Yeah. Y'all did
So
that.
I tell you, every day I'm getting news. But what people, I want people to understand, we had to go through those moments when we wanted to quit, when we wanted to be like, the hell with this. Is anybody even listening? Do anybody even care? All of these moments of the what if. Then God be like, chill out, sit down, enjoy the process, because I got you. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. And then when he do it, it's way better. It's on a whole nother level than what you expected in the first place.
That's how I go though.
So all I'm saying, and I'm feeling like that next song, the song that you release right now, is gonna go way bigger, way further than you thought it was gonna be. Like we creators have to be in a spot where we experience what we write in order for you to understand that you can make it, you could have hope, you can have faith, because guess what? I went through it myself. So I'm turning a mirror on myself in order for you to see the I got freckles. I got all of this stuff beyond the makeup and all of this stuff. Listen, I'm real just like you. At the end of the day, Mr. Gift here is truly a gift.
I appreciate you.
So how did you come up with this name?
Um, it was like partially given to me. The ammo part, it came from I used to just like I said, I was like rapping with the homies and stuff like that, but I was like the youngest out of all of them. And I always like would be like the last to rap. So like I would feel like I'm always last. So when I would go, I would just keep going. And like that's kind of like how they gave me that, whatever the case may be. And then after a while, um, as I got older, I kind of like didn't want to like sway like towards the gun like situation, whatever the case may be. So I turned it into like an acronym and it stands for always making more opportunities. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Taking a shot at whatever it is that you want to do. And
You
then like
better say it.
the gift part was just like that was just like from my mom just telling me like keep going, like don't you can't quit. Like you like this is like a gift. Like, you know what I mean? Not everybody could do what you're able to do. So you should keep
I
doing it.
can't rap worth nothing. Okay. I can sing, but I cannot rap
I
at
couldn't I
all.
couldn't rap at first either.
So it is a gift. Like we always know, um, he gives us gifts and talents. And some of our gifts and talents are going to help people. Like whatever your lyrics are is gonna help and uplift someone else. You think it's just this moment right here. But no, once you put it out in the atmosphere, this is forever. It can't be erased. So yeah, you are a gift.
We all are.
We all are. And it's just a moment of when you really gonna find out that who you really are. Like, yeah. And it's on some old humble stuff, yes. But you bigger and better than you give yourself credit for.
I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm not, it's coming, but I'm chilling.
Don't chill too long though.
Nah, I'm moving though.
Yes, absolutely. Just in those nick of times when I say the motto of this show is you literally one person away, one advice away, and one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It has been proven over and over again. And the same things apply to you, apply to me. So, now that we've kind of got a list of who you will want to collab with, so what is the ultimate goal for you?
Um, that's a good question. I ask myself that every day. Uh, I don't know. I just want to leave inspiration behind. Like, I don't know. Like, the older I get, the more I realize how short life is, and it's like you just want to impact people. Like, I don't know. Like when you do what you do, like as a creator, for me, like that, like that's what I just want to leave behind. So it's like I used to want to like blow up and be famous and all that, like when I first started and stuff like that. But the more you get to know like people and like things behind the scenes, or you get to know somebody that know what's really going on, you kind of like, is that what I really want to do? Is that who I like, you know what I mean? Do I really want to be around that? Or like, you know what I mean? But you never really know. Like, but I think the ultimate goal for me is to just like leave, like I said, just leave catalog and just stuff that I could just impact people with, because life is short. We don't know how long we're here. So I want to do as much as I can to like impact my peers, whoever look up to me, people before me, people, you know what I'm saying, after me, whatever.
So impact is everything. Um, and we know that situations, but nothing new is under the sun. So we take certain things and experiences and we write about it. We show it. We do all of these things. And so the legacy part of it is whatever you feel is the solution, the thing that's going to be the change agent is what we put out in the atmosphere. People behind us or right now will get whatever the gifting is and internalize it, share it, do all of these things for not just coming back to the creator, you, the other creator, right? So legacy is important. Like we all know there's always a stigma to entertainment, music, all of these things that there is always a good and bad to anything. It's a lot of stuff that we know is going on in the industry that some things we shouldn't talk about. There's some things, rooms and places we should not be, but it's still a choice. So the choosing is even if we saw it, we don't have to indulge because I'm still gonna get to where I'm get to without this over here. Um. So again, whatever that is, um, we're gonna know you forever. We're gonna know your name. We're gonna know all of these things because I remember we're gonna go back onto this conversation and remember when life changed for us. On this day, April 7th, is when life changed for us. It's sort of like lightning in the bottle. Most of the time, you can't keep repeating that, but when it happens,
Definitely.
and nothing and nobody can take away from it. So again, you already know what it is.
That's yeah.
So the thing is, there's this movie that Diana Ross played in called "The Lady Sings the Blues," right? And it was
Hmm.
about one of the jazz ladies, Billie Holiday, and her struggle with getting the opportunity to sing, but then there was that other thing that she was doing to, as they say, stay awake and do all of this other stuff, white powder stuff. And eventually it ended up costing her in the end, losing her license to sing, being in and out of drug institutes into death. We don't want that. And so, like I said, we you know what it is. You hear it, you see it, you know the game, and it's up to you to decide is this right here, the right now is worth what the long no. Or is it the long term side that might take me a minute to get to where I want to, but all this process stuff is making sense to me. So we can't take shortcuts. We can't because it's gonna cost us. There's a reason why there's a process.
That is true. That's one of the biggest things that I learned like doing music. Like I used to like fight with that a lot because it's like it's very easy for me to go and make what everybody listening to, but then it's like it's times where it's like it's I don't know. It don't sit well with me. Like it sound good. It sound great. Everybody will listen to it. Like, oh, you need to do this with this. You need to do that with this. But it's like if I go perform, I can never see myself performing that because that's not how I feel. And like
Yeah,
in person, I'm not
absolutely.
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. So it's just like
You know.
I do.
You
But
know.
so I just try not to go that way.
Everything that's, the microwave is here for a minute, but it's not lasting. When you said Motown classic, there are uh so many Motown songs that you still hear in the 2000s that was made in 1960 or before that. That is like, what? This is the point that I'm trying to say. Those type of music transcends decades where
They
it's
do.
coming to our age. When the people was making it, they were teenagers. But
Yeah.
now we got music that's sampling, is music that, they going back and collab with these people. Why? They put the time in with this music and no one necessarily sounds the same. Like, Smokey Robinson when you hear him,
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder when you hear him,
Yeah.
it makes sense. So again, later on, when that time comes, they're gonna be able to say you don't sound like X, Y, and Z. Original beats everything. Y'all copycats came from the original. Now, which one I'm gonna go with, the copycat or the original?
I mean, you always gonna love the original, no matter how many copycats
Absolutely.
are. So
Nope. And what people don't understand, the more you copy, the less of the authentic as well. And you lose something every time you duplicate. It's
yeah,
never gonna be the perfect or go back to the original. The more you take from it. So yeah.
I just try to be inspired as much as possible. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I sample stuff too, but even then, like, I always try to like flip it into something of my own. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just try to be authentic as possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? With whatever it is that I'm doing. So I feel like even when I do sample, it don't ever really sound like anybody else. Because I'm not trying to sound like anybody else.
Right.
So
So I just want to encourage you to this evening. I'm not sure where mentally you are, but you've been doing this since you was 13. You've been getting accolades since then. And you're just still scratching the surface of what's really in you. Um, and when that moment comes, when the music comes like the flood, when all of this happens, everything is all gonna make sense. Going back to your grandmother, I had no clue, no idea. But the topic that gets you back to center is love. If you don't deviate from that, when you're constantly in that flow of love, you can't go wrong. You'll always win. Always. Yep. So that's my deep speech for the night. Um, let's see. So what is a balance for you? A lot of times I have to detach from social media, turn my phone off. Um, if it's a Netflix night, if it's going to the movies, going to get some seafood, that's what I'm doing. So what do you do to be balanced?
um everything really. Like, I don't know. As of lately, like I find myself like having to like I have to like do things in order for me like to get to the part of my day that I'm like really looking forward to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta make sure I do this. I gotta like make sure I do is I don't know. It is it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could literally just wake up and just make music if I wanted to make music, but I feel a lot better making music when I went and took a walk or I went and got coffee or whatever it is I'm craving in the morning. And you know what I mean? And I did some laundry and maybe I went and I don't know, maybe I just read a book, maybe I bought a book. I don't anything. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like order to the day and then like I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make something. Like I want to be creative. Like sometimes like when I just like wake up and I'm just like constantly like working, it it drains everything. Like, you know what I mean, to the point where I don't even want to do the regular stuff that I need to do in life.
Mhm.
So I just kind of like try to like set it up ahead of time. Like even if it's just like I said, just regular stuff. Like, hey, like I want to get a book. Like let me try to like get a book today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard for me to like write it down and then follow it through. Cause like I'll write mad stuff down and I'll have so much stuff written and stashed everywhere that sometimes like I just ignore the notification. So like sometimes I gotta like really make myself do it. And sometimes my girlfriend be like helping a lot, like with that. Like she'll like, did you do this today? Or did you like when the last time you did this? Or you know what I mean? So it's a lot of different stuff that I like to do, but it's still all like corresponds back to music though, in some sense. Like whether it's reading a book or um taking a walk, like you know what I'm saying, I'm still doing things that's like music wise. Like I might be taking a walk, but I might be listening to beats, or I might be listening to like songs from the 70s looking for samples or like, you know what I mean, like little drum breaks, or you know what I'm saying, maybe I'm just browsing for new music. But it's always something back to what I do though, creatively, that I could pull from, which is why I like to go and create afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like um I find myself uh more creative when I'm like moving outside rather than when I'm sitting still in the crib or in the studio. Like I come up with more ideas when I'm seeing scenery and like driving around, or if I'm being driven. Like, you know what I mean? So I try to do more of those things to get creative later in the day.
That makes sense. Um, Sometimes I would go to the park, watch the couples, people skating on bikes and listening to water and things of that nature, and get inspired. Sometimes that silent scream has to come out. Um, like you didn't, I don't want to say hit the brick wall, and it's not considered writer's block, but it's something that you didn't had enough of. And it's like, okay, let me shut down, reboot, come back at it. And that's good to even notice that where you create the most. Um, and sometime in movement is good. Um, but balance to what we do as a creator is very important. You don't want to get burnt out. You don't want to be on overload. I'm definitely guilty of being a multitasker. I told you all the stuff that I do, but God gives me grace to do that. I never do anything that I'm not able to do. And so I'm constantly making sure that it's balanced. I have a whole husband, I have a whole house to take care of, I have a whole job, I do ministry, I do this, I do at and this and that. And listen,
Hey, you about to be a minister, man.
so I have to make sure that life is balanced, that everybody gets what they need from me as I need from them. And so, no, this is not an island. No, this is not me by myself because I can't do this by myself. So, again, keep that in mind. Um, Eating healthy is a must, and looking for the next um, aha moment. So, tell the people about this song you got. Is it Breach? How you say that?
It's an album.
Well, tell us about the album.
Um, it's my last album. It's a cool album. It was really much just based on a point in time in life. It was a transitioning point in my life where the pandemic happened, but we were also I was also working in a studio with like friends of mine or whatever that had just opened up literally right in the middle of the pandemic. Don't ask us how we did it, but we did it. And it actually turned out to be very successful for the time being. Um and I was just having a lot of fun, like despite the pandemic, and I made a lot of money, and you know what I mean. I tried a lot of things for the first time, like as far as being an independent artist. It was my first album. I collabed with a lot of people for the first time. I met a lot of people for the first time. I made crazy amount of dope friendships, stuff like that. But yeah, it was just an album about just like that transitioning point in my life. Just like breach is a term that my homies came up with. It was a term for money. So like that was just like like a slang term we was just throwing around like for the whole summer and stuff like that. So like I said at the time we were making a decent amount of money like independently. So that's what I decided to call it. And it was just a fun time in life. But it got real towards the end. Like the pandemic got more serious. I lost my grandmother. Uh I actually ended up leaving the business, like the company that I was working with independently at the time. Um just a lot of things. It was just like real heights, like real quick, and then like ended real fast. Like God like stop everything real quick. And I had to rebalance myself. I was around a lot of stuff that was like not influencing me for the best at the time. Though like I had friends around me who wanted better for me, but it was just a lot too much going on around me. But I was just able to rap about it and put it into the music at the time. So that's what Breach was about. But I'm more excited about my new album now, Signals, which is more more me talking about like how that time was for me, like you know what I mean, how it turned out, rather than like at the time, Breach, I was rapping about how good it was, as opposed to my new album. It was kind of like I said, the result of that, like the outturn and me realizing like, do you want to be you or do you want to be who they think you are? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
my new album is more or less about just like finding myself and creating a guide for myself and trying new things.
Absolutely. I get it. Um, I was listening. I know our hour is almost up,
I can't really hear you very low.
but I said our hour is almost up.
Okay.
But I want to say I was listening to the Breakfast Club with DJ um Jazzy
Hindi?
Jeff.
Jazzy Jeff?
Yes.
Oh.
He was just on there not too long ago, and he spoke of he had COVID
Mm.
when it first happened, and he ended up having COVID and double pneumonia in his lungs. He was in ICU, about to check up out of here. No one knew, but the immediate family or whatever. And he was there for, I think he said he was in ICU for a month. And he said once he was released and everything had turned in his favor, he understood the importance of living. What we thought is the necessities and things of that nature. He was like, no, let's go back to the beginning of just being able to breathe. You don't understand the importance of breathing when you're restricted and can't breathe. So from there, he was like, I have no desire to even go back into the club. I don't have that. I want to be more around my family. I want to live out whatever. And he said during the pandemic, D Nice showed that you can make all the money in the world just doing what you do from your living room. Do you know DJ Jazzy Jeff still make as much money as he did as he was going into a club? He's very selective in going out now. But my point to you is signals will be that turning point for you to never forget that just like you was on the mountain, just like you had the valley, you will go back on top. It's inevitable. So because of the moment and the momentum that you never stop is the process of the next book, the next chapter. And one thing I understand about stories is three parts. It's the beginning, the middle, and the end. You can't understand the end if you don't know the middle or the beginning of a story. You just can't. So I want to again to encourage you, keep moving, keep moving, keep creating, keep doing what you're doing because you're closer than you think you are. We'll have this conversation again and you'll be like, remember when we had this conversation? Just like out of the blue, God blessed me out of nowhere. I wasn't even looking for it. Hello.
Hey,
Hello. So, again, I appreciate you this evening sitting down talking to me and that we shared a love conversation, not only about music, not only about our future, not only about our loved ones, but everything that's about to happen for us. It's all good. Trust me. And again, all of this came from love. HGO, love, told me
hey,
about you.
that's
He
my
told me
dog.
about you. In the same conversation that we're having right now, we had one as well. And I'm literally cried on the show. All of this stuff that I normally, yes, I was crying on my own show. And people took it like we were friends forever. Never met him in my life. But this is how it goes. So literally, he told me, yes, I got somebody else for your show. Yes, Vina. Oh my God, I love her. Just met her. Great. And I'm like, the connections are real, like for real. So again, I thank you this evening. I want you to be encouraged. Keep your head up. Keep moving. Keep having love in your heart, love in your mouth, and love on your mind. And watch God do it for you. I promise you.
Thank you.
If I don't know nothing else about blue hair or nothing else, trust
I love your hair, by the way. I meant to tell you that in the
me.
beginning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Listen, it's going to happen in the timing that he wants it to happen. But in the meantime, we'll stay grateful, we stay thankful, we still grinding, we still hustling, we still doing all we need to do. And in a
You
little
know,
while, we don't have to do all of that.
right.
So I will send to you shortly this conversation so we can put it out here on social media. Let the people know how they can get in touch with you.
Y'all can find me on all social sites under ammo underscore gift, except Facebook. It's just ammo gift on Facebook. But yeah, y'all can find me on all social sites except Facebook. But you know what I mean? Ammo underscore gift. Y'all can tap the link in my bio on Instagram. Y'all can see all my music videos, all my new music and stuff that's coming out. Y'all can go cop some merch for the album. Album on the way. You know what I'm saying? So y'all tap in with me, man.
And they will. So again, everyone, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Get in touch with this young man. Support him. Encourage him. Also, again, this show is all about 6 degrees of separation. You are literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. And it's proven once again. And we're out.
Hey.